Well, it's been 17 days since I made a split with the Appis Biologix original hive that survived the winter. So 16 days, she should be a queen, and after that she should start laying shortly. Let's see if we even see a queen. Let's check them out. Got insulation on the side and a divider of insulation. Try and keep them nice and cozy because there's only a couple frames of bees. Take that insulation out, give them some room to inspect. As you can see, it's only a couple frames of bees. Let's see if we have a queen. I'm looking. I see a drone there on the bottom right. Looks like very light colored comb. Maybe they're drawing it out. I have to check the previous view a couple days ago and see if it is new and fresh. I don't see a queen. I see a drone at the top. I see one at the bottom. I see one in the middle. I see a lot of empty cells. I see a group over here. Looks like a queen cup. I see some liquid nectar. Still not seeing any queens. Looks like a capped cell that's not opened. One frame to go. Do we have a queen? I see what's left of the sugar that I shoved in the frame. Still not seeing a queen. I see a drone. More sugar. I guess the other side is pretty much cleaned out. You know what? I'm gonna go look at see what the rest of them look like. I'll cover this up just to keep the warmth while I go check out the others. And this is the other split I made. I made this split about 17 days ago, and about 11 days ago there was a queen cell. I don't see a queen on the lid. This one's a little more full of bees. I'm using a lot of smoke today because I don't feel like getting stung up like I did the other day. Doesn't look like they're doing anything on the outside frame. Looks like some chewing from when I let them clean out this frame from a dead out. I don't see a queen. Looks like some nice clean white comb, fresh, new, on the bottom edges. I'll leave this out so I have some more room to maneuver the other frames. I got some pollen in the middle. I don't see a queen. Still got some sugar water in this top center. That's probably from one of the dead outs that I put in here to feed them in the winter. Still not seeing any queens. I'm starting to think my queen splits are not working. It's either that or they're still out running around trying to get mated. So what am I going to do? What is the next step? Do I just sit here and wait? Or do I proactively try something? Only 2 left to go. Do we have a queen? That's the queen cell. I can see that got chewed out. And that one got chewed out from the side, so I guess she hatched from up here. You can see the queen cell in the top left. And killed the others. I still don't see a queen. But that's probably the one that lived and killed the rest, right? So she's in here? Or did she get eaten by a school bus? Maybe that one got out. I'm nervous about waiting. Some nice fresh comb there, looks nice and light. There's definitely not a lot of cap brood left. So that means these numbers are going to be dying out and dwindling. And this gal is hanging out on my hand while I'm doing the work. Doesn't seem to bother me or mind that I'm moving my hand. And there's no brood on here at all. And I don't see any queen. I don't know why they're clustering in the corners. Is that maybe where the queen's hanging out? But if so, why are they hanging out in the front and the back? And why the corners? Don't know. Well, I'm going to put this frame back in here, cover it up, let them rest here for a while I go find a solution. This is the other split I made. I had a bunch of cells, so I decided later on, a couple days later, to divide those up even further and go for broke. So I made a couple more splits. So they're all the same age queen cells. They should all be hatched out today. So only a couple frames of bees. Nothing on the lid. Put the pillow in there, try and give them a nice, tight, cozy feeling. And again, I'm using lots of smoke. I don't really feel like playing around. Not many bees on the pillow. Not a whole lot of wacky comb. Let's see if we have a queen in this one. These almost look like the wax ball got there. But I think it's because the pillow was up against it, and maybe it's from all the chewings from the bees. I don't know. This looks like it's got the Appis Biologix still in there. Again, I'm not seeing any queens. I'm not seeing any brood cells that are capped. I'm not seeing eggs. I'm just seeing a bunch of bees that are getting older and dwindling to nothing. This frame's a little tighter. It's the box, I think. It's swelled. Lots of empty cells. I see some orange pollen. Lots of empty cells. Doesn't look like they're drawing out a lot of wax. Like a reddish pollen in the center. I'm not seeing any queens. I do see a couple cells. They look like they're dry. Don't look like they ever got drawn out. One more frame. Is there a queen? A little bit of pollen or capped honey or sugar water at the top. Pollen in the bottom, scattered throughout. And lots of empty cells. I'm still not seeing a queen. Well, it's time for another plan. I do see a congregation in the bottom corner. Could that be a queen down there? Don't know. Oh, I'm gonna cover these guys up. Keep their warmth while I go find another solution. A backup plan. Are they going after a queen? They look like they're really going after something. They're moving fast all in one direction. Don't know. Now this is the parent colony that everything came from. All the queen cells. All the brood. It's insulated, but it's very tight in the lid, so I left it on the lid rather than on the box. I did the pillow, and it's quite attached. Lots of bees on the pillow. I'm not seeing any queen. See a little bit of drawn comb on the top. That pink is my insulation in between the boxes so they don't have to propolize it every time I break the seal. Oh, let's take a look at this one. That's one of the wax foundations with the wire frame support, and I don't see much activity as far as storing or drawing comb. I see a drone right there on the bottom right. I'm going to leave this one out so I have some room for inspections. This one has a lot of capped food at the top, and it's a red color tint. So I'm going to say this is all Appis Biologix stuff that I tinted red during the winter months, and it's left over from the original colony or one of the dead outs. I forget. I'd have to go look back in the previous videos. But it looks like they're storing their own stuff in there on the bottom underneath of it. There's a lot of yellow pollen up the top. Lots of empty cells. That looks like some stuff that they're bringing in. Gonna get rid of some of this wonky coming out of the way here. And I'm gonna smoke them some more because they're flying around and I don't feel like playing with them. Ah, that's more like it. There's a lot of capped brood. Some more capped brood. Looks like they're filling in with sugar or honey or whatever everywhere around the cells that have popped out. I'm not seeing any eggs or larvae. There's a little bit of scattered capped brood. More scattered and still more sugar or honey stored in between. That wonky comes in the way. More nectar in the bottom there, and then on the right is some more of that orange pollen. Looks like some capped brood on the bottom there. Don't see any fresh eggs or larvae. There's some drone cells in the left corner. They're a little bumpy, not so flat. There's a lot of capped brood there. Lots of nectar in between the empty spots. And there's a bit of drone comb. There's 3 in the middle there on the bottom. And the rest of that is brood comb. It's nice and flat and fuzzy. Looks like Velcro. Felt. And lots of nectar that they're storing in there. All that clear stuff. Whoop, what's this? Ooh, that's a queen cell. And it's got a little bit of queen juices in there. What's that, the royal jelly? So there's probably brood inside there. And they're trying to make a queen. So I must have moved the queen to another box when I was doing all my splits, and thereby they're trying to replace it. Lots of nectar in there. They're busy bees. I still don't see a queen or queen cells. And more nectar. They're definitely bringing in some food. This is the one that's up against the insulation, so they really can't do much there. So I'm going to put this back. Let them draw out that queen cell. Probably 17 days from now or so, we'll check it and see if they have a virgin queen flying around. We're going to take some of this extra food and give it to this first colony because they don't have much of anything for resources. And we'll give them a little bit more resources. I'm going to fill it in with an extra frame. It's undrawn. Actually, let's do 2 of them. That way they have something to do if they get excited and want to draw out some new wax. And we'll check these guys in about 16 to 17 days and see if they have a new queen. I'm going to put the empty drawn chrome in here. I mean the empty wax foundation. Give these guys some more place to put stuff. I'm going to pry it over with my pry tool to try and get it in there, and dropped it. And they didn't like that. And here's my box with the insulation in between. That way they don't have to propolize it each time. I'm going to put the pillow back. So these guys should be drawing out a new queen from that queen's cup, and should be a new queen in maybe 16 or so days. And we're going to mark it as no queen. We're going to have the no queen toward the front entrance. And that will remind me there is definitely no queen in there. Well, this is the colony that usually stings the heck out of me if I don't have a suit on. And they got really mad the other day, so I'm smoking the heck out of them. We call this the Wonky Hive. Got a pill on the top, allowing them lots of space to make the wonky comb. And we're going to smoke them heavily. No messing around with these guys. Now that colony in the red and green box is actually a split from this brown and white box. They were so large and so mean and mad, I split them up. And I distributed some of their resources to the other splits also. This is the wonky comb on the top, underneath this pillow. And I'm going to make the smoke drive them down inside, off that pillow. Not messing around. I gave them an extra box so they had lots of place to put stuff if they felt so entailed. Bunch of bees. Don't really see anything egg-wise. There's some of that wonky comb on top of the frame. And lots of bees, but nothing new for brood or eggs. Got a little bit of resources there. I can see the glistening. They're bringing in some kind of pollen and nectar. Lots of no brood. Lots of bees, no brood. This is not the way it was before. Last time it was like brood almost every frame in the top. So this is definitely different. So I am thinking that the queen got moved to the red and green hive. That means this colony is probably queenless. And these are the empty frames. They didn't really do anything for drawing them out. So they probably lost all their motivation, and looks like the box is coming apart. My little staples and the glue are not holding so well. I did put these together from green wood, but that was last year. By this time it should be dry. I still think the humidity inside these boxes is horrible for woodenware, and I think the paint and the gloss keeps it all inside and not dries out, so it kind of swells the whole box. That's my opinion. And I'm running out of smoke fuel. Like I said, I don't want to mess with these guys. Every time they start to buzz me, I'm giving them the smoke treatment. I'm smoking everything. More bees. No brood. Looks like a little wonky comb in the middle there. And what is that? Ooh, there's some brood. But there's a bunch of queen cells. So this must be what's left over from when I made the split. And they are trying like all get out. Look, there's another queen cup. Yep, it was primed and ready to go. There's some more of the capped brood. And more queen cups. Queen cells. Everything to make queens. So definitely, they're trying to make some queens. Well, I'm going to divvy up some more of these resources. This frame has some brood on it still. And this is the queen cups and queen cells from the Wacky Comb hive. I'm going to do a little bit of delicate surgery. I'm going to pull this cell out and give it away. Well, I do have to sacrifice some of the brood around the queen cup, but it's for the better cause. Now we're going to implant that in this frame. I'm going to move some of the cells and honey around, make up some space, and gently lay it in there, and pull the wax from the other surrounding cells in tight around it to try and hold it in place. Trying not to squeeze the queen cell. And we have successfully grafted a queen cell onto that frame. "17 days or less, we should have a queen laying in there." Here's another drawn queen cell. We're going to use this to prime this frame over here, this colony of bees that doesn't seem to have a queen. Now, if she has a queen and it's out there flying around and mating and comes back, they'll probably destroy that cell. If not, we got a cell to make another queen. So it's the backup. And we're going to put in some foundation just to give them something to do if they so wish. I'm going to boost their numbers a little bit more. Put our filler in there. Some empty frames. I'm gonna go crazy. We're gonna fill it lots of bees. And cover them up. Now back to the Wonky Comb hive. What's left? Looks like we got a couple queen cells. So they had 3 frames with queen cells on it. They still have some drawn comb, or drawn brood cells, capped brood cells that is. So hopefully these guys have enough bees to make it for 17 days or so, while they wait for that queen to come back and repopulate. I'm going to throw in some more filler frames just to fill up the extra space in case they start drawing out stuff. And that is the Wonky Comb hive. We're going to put back on the box on top. And that may be a little too many boxes. We'll see. Will they dwindle to the point where they have too many bees, or maybe too many boxes for the amount of bees left? We shall see. We'll check on the Wonky Comb in 17 days. And this is with the other split. We're going to take out that foundation. We're going to give them what's left of the drawn queen cells. Get rid of some of this burr comb so the frames will move over a little further, because we don't want to squish these cells. They stick out a little bit, remember? And what's this on the other side? Drone comb on the bottom. We'll stick this all in there and see how they do in 17 days or so. Well, that's it for all the... oh, I got more to go. Ooh, we got some brood here. And some wonky comb. Oh, looky here. We got a queen from last year. Ha ha ha. The yellow queen is still alive. That's awesome. So we do have one of the queens left. And that is from the split of the Wonky Comb hive. So that is the ones that were all spicy. They're not so spicy anymore. Knocked them down so much. Well, we'll see how they're doing in 17 days.